my.
What a day, what a story.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Thank you, Nick. You know, sitting there, I thought he was talking about someone else. Until he pointed at me and I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway, a lot has been said, and when you are the last one to speak, it's always a challenge, you know. I had a whole list of speaking notes, and as one speaker after the other spoke, I was, you know, strike through. That one has been said. That one has been said. And eventually I found myself with a summary. And how do you start your speech with a summary? So I think I'll just have to go off script because I don't think I can repeat much and I don't want to do that. But let's go to the beginning. About 2017, as a Standard Media Group, we sat and said, what do we want to do? And I remember after a lot of deliberations, we said that we want to come out strongly in the space of education. And internally, we started conceptualizing how shall we participate in this space. And I think the idea of a magazine, pull out, you know, educative material, all that was put across. And I always tell people, when something doesn't work, stop insisting. Maybe there's a good reason why it didn't work. I remember after a lot of pressure, follow through, traffic lights, reports, and all that, we sat once in a management meeting and it was agreed that the whole idea didn't seem to be getting wheels, let alone wings. And we had to shelve it. Of course, when you're in my position, you always want everything you start to take off. You want it to succeed. And just about this time, we were accepting the harsh reality that our idea, though noble, didn't seem to have managed to get a life of its own. This whole Great Places to School initiative seemed to have been undergoing certain discussions. So when it was brought forward and I was told, you know, we have a better idea for our education initiative. And after I was briefed, I said, this is fantastic. And I was told, oh, we have the usual partners, the Global Peace Foundation. We work together on a lot of initiatives. And then I was told we'll have to bring on board other parties. And I think for me, I thought, finally, at least we have something. But as Tony said, it wasn't easy, you know, to create something like this, give it life, and see it start becoming something bigger. That was the hard part. And I remember we gave certain timelines, and when we realized the magnitude, the sheer scope of what had to be done, our ambitious timescales had to be stretched to accommodate, because as you are told, this was not one of those social media ranking kind of initiatives. This was not one of those initiatives where we wanted telephone responses. This is an initiative that required people to put feet on the ground, go interact, witness, and then evaluate. And also we needed to have an initiative that will be able to stand scrutiny, that will be able to be above reproach. An initiative that even when questioned can stand up to the questioning. And I think today, from the list of speakers we've had here, you can agree with me that this is one initiative that today we cannot start having questions about was it just, was it fair, what was the criteria? And you know, the interesting thing about being in media is that sometimes you come up with very good initiatives and in your gut, you're happy you're helping the society. And when the results are announced, everyone starts comparing you to political parties. You know, there's one we had recently, and someone came and said, you people are worse than IBC. I hope that will be edited out. And, you know, and when you stand there and you realize, wow, it's never easy to satisfy everyone. And when you're caught up in such a situation, then the best path to take is the path of reliance on facts, figures, and nothing else. Because then at that point, even if somebody said you didn't do it right, at least you know the truth won't change. You know, one thing I learned a long time ago is that the truth remains the same. A lie can be altered tomorrow. The following day it can become bigger. The other day it can become smaller, but the truth will always remain the same. What do we see about Great Places to School initiative? In my personal capacity as a media group, and I'm sure I would be speaking for all partners if they will give me permission, this is an initiative that should grow beyond what we see today. I would love to see it become the gold standard of evaluating academic institutions. It should be one of those things like the Hall of Fame. You know, it should be one of those things where you want to be there because once you're there, then no further references are required because the process is so rigorous. The criteria for getting there is so specific and clear that if you are judged to be a great place to school, then you know the public will have complete faith in what you have to offer. I think we are starting where we are today. It would be good if this over time can extend to cover even the public schools. Because remember, you do not choose to be born where you are born. So you have little say on whether you'll be able to afford a private school or you'll attend a public school. You know, when I was young, I went to public schools. I think those days, things were the way they were. Public schools were the best. And then a certain trend started coming up, the trend of academies. And if you didn't go to a school that had academy at the end, then you are considered not to have gone to a good school. And then I understand nowadays it has even evolved further. If you don't go to the group of schools, you know, then you've not gone to a good school. But in reality, not everyone can afford the group of schools. I stand here and I'll admit that my children go to a private school. And for that, I'm thankful to God because I'm able to put them through that. But how many others will stand here and say they are not even able to meet the public school fees? And I think that's the stark reality, that if we can manage to stretch this into the spaces where those who do not have a lot can also benefit from understanding that, yes, I'm going to a public school, but the public school has also been onboarded and it is focusing on ensuring that they are offering a holistic approach to how they teach. I'm a firm believer that the future we are heading into, the future that my children and your children are going to live in, will be less driven by academic excellence and more driven by the ability to provide solutions. You can be an academic A person and you will have the ability to provide solutions. You can equally be an A student with completely no ability to provide solutions. You could be an average student, but gifted in something. And I think that's why I want to see these Great Places to School initiative take us. We cannot put a fish and a monkey in a competition to climb a tree and call that an even contest. Neither can you put the monkey and the fish in the water and see who will swim faster and call that even. We need to start saying that when you put all these criteria we put together, are we able to give our students, our children, the future of our country, the opportunity to discover who they are, the opportunity to decide what they can be good at? Yesterday, I was invited to an event, and as I watched the band perform, I asked myself, so many years back, had I told my parents I want to be a musician, what kind of dinner conversation would it be? Chances are I would not be having the dinner. But people are now making money out of performing arts. And sometimes I tell myself, maybe the education system we went through robbed a lot of us of the natural talent we had, because it created containers, and all those containers were similar and measured to the same exact size. And it didn't matter whether you are 10 sizes bigger or 2 sizes smaller. You all had to fit in those containers. And I think that was the tragedy, and probably continues to be the tragedy of some of the institutions children have to go through. We focus on making everyone fit in the same container. So you want to push a C student, force them to take 3-4 extra hours of tuition, trying to get them to be an A student, overlooking probably their natural abilities, overlooking their natural talent. At the end of the day, you end up with a student who has no self-confidence, completely lost, feeling like they do not belong because you keep comparing them to that A student. Then later in life, you find that A student who was drilled being unable to even sit through an interview and articulate themselves because they were so preoccupied trying to pass the exam, they forgot life has a lot more to offer, like simple communication skills. So, as Standard Media Group, I would like to reiterate and give our commitment that this is an initiative we want to see grow. We welcome all the partners that are not yet on board. We want to see everyone come on board. I know government has had an idea. They were invited today. I think schedules were not very kind, so we were not able to get a representative. But this is something that we want every stakeholder to embrace, because at the end of the day, the government is the biggest stakeholder when it comes to the say of its citizens. And if we can partner with them on this, then I have no doubt that this initiative will grow. We will continue providing this platform. We are committed to this as the Standard Media Group. It is not something we are doing for publicity, it's not something we are doing for the money, this is something we are doing for the impact. So you can be sure that for as long as the Great Places to School initiative continues, we expect the Standard Group to be at the forefront of advocating, articulating, and pushing for the improvement in the kind of education we offer our children. I'm glad, as I went up my speech, that at least the school where I gambled and took my children is represented here fairly. If they were not, I think I would be reconsidering. And I think I saw the principal. Okay, you'll allow me. She teaches my children, so you can allow me that. Where's the principal? Rusinga School. Ah, there. Mrs. Karaoke. Thank you. When I see them here, then I know we are doing something, because I didn't even ask them to apply. I didn't even talk to them about it. I just learned that they saw it's a good thing and they chose to participate. And I'm sure there are many other people here who probably have met teachers to your children. You've met directors to your children's school. And it's a good thing, because we become one big family. So, to the institutions that participated, to the schools that participated, I want to believe by taking that bold step to be a participant, you already started the journey to being a winner. Remember, the trophies do not define which institutions are the best. They just define which institutions this time round came on top. Probably, I'm not a judge, but probably the margin between those who won and those who didn't was not that big. Probably the competition was stiff. Don't lose heart. I'm sure if we work together, we can go beyond the award ceremony and make this a continuous communication platform. And I would like to challenge the Standard Group team, the marketing team, Charles, Corporate Affairs. How do we partner to ensure that beyond today, the narrative is kept alive and we do not go to sleep until the next awards ceremony. Then you start hearing about the great places to school. Do we come up with monthly roundup reports? Because the true value will not be just showcasing the winners. The true value will be continuous communication. And that gives an opportunity to even that school in Kibera. It gives an opportunity to that school in Kapedo that does not have the kind of budget that they can afford media to at least get some exposure. So ladies and gentlemen, I try to stay off all the spoken notes. You can see I have 2 papers and I had to find a way of getting out of that. But please allow me, and it's my pleasure to welcome the Director Semester. I've been given that honor, Bwana Stephen Njoroge, to come and give the main remarks. Bwana Njoroge, karibu. And thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was telling the CEO that I thought I was coming to eat. Nobody told me I'm coming to talk, but on a right note. I think I want to thank the organizers for this function. I think this is one of the most important functions I think we have attended in the recent. When we are talking of great schools, great places to be, great schools, I think to me that is very, very important. If there's something that has made me happy today is when somebody came here and said that we have been training our students to be good people even in agriculture. I think that to me was very important. In the past and for many years, we have been thinking of grades, and that's why we have lost our country. When we have been thinking that the good schools are those that produces A's. We have produced A's from 1964, but those grades have taken us nowhere. I think we have come to rethink what next. And I think this is why we are here this evening, that we have decided, and I think we are very happy with the private schools, that they are showing us the way, that the way for the future of this country are developing talents. We want to develop talents. We want to develop character. We want to develop those innovations, the critical thinking, the critical mind. This is what we want for the future. That I'm from the Center of Maths and Science. And what we are saying is that how do we demonstrate science as an individual? How do we demonstrate science in the schools? How do we demonstrate science in our village, in our homes? That's the type of education we want. And I think this is what we are talking of, competence-based. How do we show that competence? So we want to thank the private schools that I think you have shown us the way. Even from us, from public, I think we follow suit. We will follow. Juma, you are telling me that you wanted to start from public and you found as if you are going through. Maybe you wanted to know what is these great schools to be. Now we have known. So Mother Odudo, I'm sure that we are going to talk about it. From where I'm coming from, we have schools we are calling STEM model schools, 102. The government wants to increase to 588. That will have more depth and even breadth in sciences. And maybe, Daniel, we might start from there. That do they become great places for our children? Is it places where children would like to be? This morning I was talking with some teachers, and I was asking them whether their school is inviting, whether children would want to be there. Or is this your school disinviting? That the children are worried, why did their parents bring them there? The moment they arrive there, they say, this is the school we did not want. And that's why you keep on seeing children running away because they don't feel this is the place to be. I think, to me, the meaning of the great schools is where children be given opportunity to grow. And I liked when the CEO said, why do we force children to get A, yet that is not their talent? If today I did mathematics myself, but I was asking some people at home, if given another opportunity now, I would want it to be a good soccer player. Because the amount of money I've been earning since I left university is the money I hear some soccer player earn, I think, within 1 hour, not even 1 day. I don't think that I'll do mathematics today. I'm trying to say this. Let's give our children opportunity to grow. Don't force your children to be doctors. You know, there are some parents who are telling me, I would want one of my son to be a doctor. Why didn't you become a doctor yourself? You want one of your son to be an engineer, and you are not even understanding mathematics. Why do you want our children to be where ourselves we could not be? Let's allow our children to grow. They want to do music, let them do music. They want to do this. And that is what the great schools to be mean. Yes. This is what we want. And I think we'll be very happy to allow our children to grow. Kenya is an agricultural country. You go to schools where you have maybe 200 Form 4s, only 8 are doing agriculture. 8 are doing agriculture. Somebody said about allowing our children to go to Tibet so that we can have good technicians. If today you are building a house in the rural village, rural home, how many engineers do you want? You want maybe one engineer just to pass there and see the design and so on. But you want technicians every day. Yet we have more engineers than the technicians that we want. I think we should be able to reflect and see what is that we can be able to do. Somebody told me in Canada, they pay the skills. They don't pay papers. That's why you find you have a PhD and you are going back to the skill so that you get some good earning to get food. I think this, to me, that is where we should be able to give. So great places to be. And great schools mean we give our children opportunity. I think I want to stop there because I came to eat and I've eaten. I want to thank you, and Tony Devine, I want to thank you so much, because when you're talking of transformative readers, I went to see Tony in Seattle, Washington, and Seattle told me, Mr. Njoroge, even if you give all schools equipment for science, and you don't change character, you don't transform readership, all those equipment will go to zero. Will go to zero. So I think let's continue building also readership, because, and I think the CEO said, it would be very unfortunate for you to be a great place to be today, you came for dinner, then tomorrow you are nowhere. Then when we are going outside there, we say, oh, this school is very good. We realize it's a good place for us to go. But tomorrow you find you are nowhere. I think to us competition, let it be a process. It's not just one thing that for today. Let it be a process so that the other people can join us. With those few or many remarks, asanteni.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stephen Njoroge. Asante sana. Please, another round of applause for Mr. Njoroge. And I can continue to add this. Let's make job creators. Let's not make job seekers. Let's make job creators. Because with these words coming from Mr. Njoroge and, of course, from CEO Orlando, thank you very much for those kind words. It just shows you the potential that is out there in terms of what we can do to transform, especially this nation. And who knows, Kenya could be the hub of this education system within the region. if not the continent. And I believe from the words we've heard from people who sit in very high places, they can see the future and they can see the vision. And I think it's why we are all here to appreciate this amazing initiative, the Great Places to School. Can you give yourselves a round of applause, please? Thank you very much. As we try to make sure we wind up this very quickly, this is the moment we've all been waiting for, and is where now we recognize, celebrate, and announce the inaugural winners of the 2019 Great Places to School. Are you ready for this? I know you've been anxious, all the school directors, all the school owners, all the institutions that are here, even the judges, I'm sure they are slowly smiling to themselves. I was right, yeah? I tell you. But fantastic job that you did. Now, to start us off, this is how it's going to happen. We are going to start from bottom up. We are awarding the top 3. And that is, of course, third, second, and first. And for this first category, which is safety and security, I'd like to invite to the stage Strategy Director of TIFA. And for those who do not know what TIFA means, it's Trends and Insights for Africa. Am I right? Mr. Kwea, karibu sana. Please, you'll be the one handing over our first. Please, pigeni makofi. He's no stranger to this stage. Are you ready for the awards? How are we feeling tonight? Are we ready? Fantastic. All right.
So, we're going to read the award itself. We are starting off with safety and security. Schools that are safe, environments, is it environments? Yeah?
High school.
I haven't used that word in a while.
No. High school. Which high school did you go to? Oh, you also went to school high?
To high school. You know, one of those schools you just find in the classifieds. But it was a great school to learn. We had hot water, we had a school bus, a swimming pool. We didn't concentrate much on the important stuff. Schools which offer a safe and secure environment for learners where they and their parents are assured of their protection as they learn, use the school transport, cross the roads, or use the facilities. Includes measures that the school has put in place for the students' safety, as well as developing safety awareness into practical life-saving skills. Eddie Kimani, your school, you guys used to swim across the river.
Utaachana mimi na shule za nilienda. I went to good schools. But thank you for acknowledging. It just shows how old we are, aren't we? Msidanganywe na hii mvi.
So, at number 3, Graceland Girls Senior School. A round of applause.
Safety and security category, number 3, Graceland Girls Senior School. Please come on stage and receive your award.
Kindly come to the right side of the stage.
I believe we do have the representative. Please give them a round of applause as they collect their prize. Third position.
Graceland Girls Senior School. This lovely lady and her team have done us proud.
Once again, that was Graceland Girls Senior School. And in second place, in the safety and security category, can I get the drum rolls, please? Yeah, those ones okay. Put your hands together for Juja Preparatory and Senior Schools. Juja, where are you?
Come through the right. Kindly, when coming on stage, come through the right side from where Eddie Kimani is standing.
And there you go. Remember, this is the safety and security, which is the category for schools which offer safe and secure environment for learners where they and their parents are assured of their protection as they learn, use the school transport, cross the roads, or use the facilities. This includes measures that the school has put in place for the students' safety, as well as developing safety awareness into practical, life-saving skills. Another round of applause for Juja Preparatory and Senior Schools. Congratulations to Juja Preparatory. Asante sana. Thank you very much. Apa, there are no ladies representing Juja.
All right, and the position we've all been waiting for, number 1 in safety and security. Give it up for Grinstead's International School.
And DJ, we're also awarding the school that comes on stage with the best dance, so be on the lookout for that. So we are watching, muko kwa stage tayari. Karibuni, and congratulations to Grinstead's International School. I must say this, I'm a very proud kijana wa Nakuru, so I'm very proud. I will send the ujumbe. So once again to Grinstead's International School, all the way from Nakuru. Congratulations to you.
Next, we are going to be awarding for governance. Schools which are open to listening to the needs of the learners and accommodating their views. In the 80s, if you gave your views, they said, "Huyu mtoto kichwa yake ni ngumu sana, anajibizana na walimu." But now it's all changed. You can give your views and share views with your teachers. Includes the system of governance in place and how this builds confidence in authority in the learners, how they speak out for what they truly believe, and how they address issues that move them.
And to award these prizes, we are going to invite our partner, Global Peace Foundation. Banajuma, if you can just join us on stage. And also our guest all the way from Seattle, come and hand over the next 3 trophies for the governance category. All right. From position 3, put your hands together for the 3rd place finisher in governance category, Rusinga Schools, Nairobi. Kelele ya Rusinga iko wapi tafadhali? Remember, there is a dance competition for the best dance to the stage. I tell you, the principal, I'm sure she must be the head of the dance club. Karibuni sana, and congratulations to Rusinga Schools taking the 3rd place in the governance category. Remember, the governance category is for schools which are open to listening to the needs of the learners and accommodating their views. And this includes a system of governance in place and how this builds learners' confidence in authority in the learners. Building leaders and shaping leaders. Congratulations to Rusinga Schools.
In the 2nd position in the governance category, ladies and gentlemen, a humble school all the way in Kawangware. Give it up for the Excellence School.
Congratulations to the Excellence School all the way from Kawangware. Congratulations to you, fantastic. Taking the top prize in the governance category, position 1. Laser Hill Academy in Ongata Rongai. Laser Hill mko wapi? Remember, there's a competition for the best dance to the stage. And they're all matching very well, pink and black. This was an award. Congratulations to Laser Hill Academy in Ongata Rongai, taking the governance category top trophy. Makofi tafadhali kwao. Congratulations to Laser Hill Academy, asante sana. And our 3rd category, that is the business entrepreneurship projects. And this category was for schools which provide a sporting environment for learners to develop their physical talents. Okay, I will have to, that is not correct.
I know reading is not your strength. Huh?
You saw this coming, I
I
know.
will do this for you.
I know, it's yeah.
Business entrepreneurship
Actually,
project.
you know what? I think I need to go and ask for my refunds for all my schools. You think I'll get it back?
All the best.
All the best.